Today, Seth Lawrence, the WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in this segment of the morning show, Jack Myers with Social Security. Jack, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, Seth. How are you?
I'm doing good. Are you back into the swing of things after the long holiday weekend? How you doing this Thursday morning?
Yeah, doing all right. I suppose I could look forward to another Thanksgiving meal today, but that's not going to happen. Leftovers are all gone, so it's just regular old food for me now.
There you go. Yeah, it takes me like maybe 2 days to really get back to everything, and it's mostly just catching up on like emails and stuff I missed from the 4 days we were gone. Otherwise, it's just kind of right back to it for us. And the thing is, Jack, when you travel, you don't have to bring home leftovers. So if you go somewhere, I learned this year, if you go somewhere for Thanksgiving, you don't have to bring home leftovers. So that's the key for you for next year.
I like bringing home the leftovers, though. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say that's something I look forward to. It almost tastes better the second day.
There you go. Well, and so like I told you off the air, I was at my sister's house, and so we had, Thanksgiving there, but then her in-laws came like the second or third day we were down there. And then by that point, we're all eating the leftovers. So by Sunday it was pretty much gone, which was kind of good. So
yeah, that makes sense. So
yep.
You just had your leftovers in-house.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's eating it all. So anyways, Jack, I know you kind of teased this opening topic with us at the end of our last visit in November, which kind of feels weird to say that right now. But at any rate, let's talk a little bit about Social Security benefits increasing in 2023. This was announced not that long ago. What's happening here?
Yeah, it's getting closer to a reality for folks. Approximately 70 million Americans will see an 8.7% increase in Social Security benefits and SSI payments in 2023, Seth. So basically, timing-wise, as far as the first payment that'll have that increase will be the payments that are received in January for Social Security, and it's going to be December 30th for SSI, because normally the SSI, Supplemental Security Income payments, are due on the first of the month, with the first being a holiday and also a Sunday this year. Those SSI payments are going to come December 30th. So that'll be the payment for January. So that's the SSI payment that'll have the increase. And then the Social Security payments for December that arrive at different points in January, depending on when you get your payment. It might be the third day of January. It might be the second, third, or fourth Wednesday of January. But whatever point you normally get your Social Security payment, that January one is going to be the one that has the 8.7% increase on it. So yeah, that's, as you said, something we talked about last month, something that letters are starting to go out to people, so you're getting that in the mail, seeing exactly what that amount's going to be. But yeah, look forward to that increase in your payment coming very soon.
So, Jack, with this increase, of course, we talk about inflation and those sorts of things, but this is a yearly event for Social Security, obviously. What else do we need to know about this?
Well, Seth, it is something that is potentially going to happen every year. And I say potentially because it's basically a formula that's used. And as you said, it's tied to inflation. So what we call this increase is the cost of living adjustment, or COLA. So I'll use the acronym COLA as we discuss it today. But the purpose of the COLA is to ensure that the purchasing power of Social Security and SSI benefits is not eroded by inflation. So these rate increases when the cost of living rises. And the way that our program measures cost of living comes from the Department of Labor. They have what they call the Consumer Price Index for Urban and Clerical Wage Earners. It's the CPIW. And basically what that is that CPIW is a numerical measurement of inflation. So if the cost of goods and services rise, if things get more expensive as they have in 2022, then that CPIW rises. And since 1975, the Social Security COLA has been automatically tied to inflation. So basically, what happens is there's a comparison that's done from the third quarter, which is July through September of last year, to the third quarter of this year. And if the CPIW, the average CPIW for those 3 months goes up, then the percent that it went up is what the Social Security and SSI COLA is going to be. And normally it's not this big. Normally it's not 8.7%, Seth. I mean, this is the biggest COLA in decades. But as people can probably relate to, things have gotten a lot more expensive this year. And so that CPIW went up a lot. And so that's why we're seeing an 8.7% increase that's going to be effective with the payments received in January.
I know you've mentioned this before, Jack. When the cost of living adjustment is announced, folks wonder about its connection to Medicare Part B premiums and how that impacts Social Security payments. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I sure can. That is a connection that people often make. And the reason for that, Seth, is that if you're on Social Security and you're enrolled in Medicare, your Part B premium is going to be deducted from your monthly Social Security payment. So it's hard for people to separate, even though they are separate issues, and the COLA doesn't technically have anything to do with the Part B premium. The announcements are typically made around the same time, and there's a natural connection that people make between the two, because when you talk about their Social Security check going up, they also want to know, well, what's happening to the Medicare premium. And this year, Medicare announced, and this is kind of unusual as well, this doesn't happen very often, but Medicare announced that the standard Part B premium will be $164.90 in 2023. And that's actually going down, Seth. It was $170.10 in 2022. So that is pretty unique that that's going to go down at the same time we're seeing a big increase in the Social Security payment. So, not only are you getting that 8.7% increase, but your Medicare Part B premium is actually going down a little bit as well. So that should result in a nice little raise for people who are getting Social Security benefits.
Very good. So keep that in mind. And Jack, just to remind folks that this is an automatic increase, and these are not anything that folks need to register for, call about. Just kind of remind us of that.
Absolutely, Seth. You don't have to ask for this. This is going to happen automatically. The good news also, something that comes up every once in a while is if somebody is 62 or 63 and they haven't chosen to start collecting their benefits yet, sometimes they worry that they're going to miss out on this increase, but you're not going to. If you're already 62, whether you choose to collect your benefits now or you choose to wait until a later date because you want to get a higher monthly benefit from us, you will still benefit from this cost of living adjustment when you do ultimately start to collect benefits. So you don't have to worry about missing out on it. As you alluded to, you don't have to call us and ask, whether or not you're going to get this increase. It is going to be automatic. We are starting to send letters out. So some people probably have already gotten those. They don't all go out at the exact same time, but we're starting to send those letters out. So you should be watching your mailboxes to see, the specific amount of your 2023 benefit. You can also see that within your My Social Security account. So if you've got an account set up on our website, ssa.gov, you go into your My Social Security account. If you look in your message center, you may have opted to receive those notices that way. And if you did, you'll see that already in there. If you don't have it set up yet and you want to set that up for the future so you can get your message early, go ahead and go to the ssa.gov/myaccount. And within your message center, you can set your preferences to get your cost of living adjustment notices that way. That would be more at this point in the game. That would be more of a setting you're doing for next year.
Mm-hmm.
But it is something you could do so that your COLA notice comes to that message center next year, and you see it a little earlier than what it takes to get it in the mailbox.
Jack, what did I miss you want to put out there for us today?
Just last thing on that My Social Security account, if you do sign up to have that COLA notice sent that way, you can actually register for text or email alerts when a new notice shows up in your message center. So that way you'd be prompted right away when that showed up, and you'd know. Again, that's going to be for next year, because you'd have to have had that established by November 15th to get that notice in there this year. But maybe you did, so check it out. Maybe you did set that up and you just don't remember. And if so, that'll be waiting for you in your message center.
Fantastic. Hey, Jack, I'll tell you what, I look at the clock. We're just a touch ahead of a timeout, but let's take that. We've got a lot more to dive into again with Jack Myers, Social Security, our guest on the phone here for this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. More to come on the morning show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Thursday. I'm Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network. Corn steady, beans and wheat starting the day lower. December corn, 661 3/4, down 1/4. March corn down half a penny, 667 1/2. May corn, 665 1/2, up 1/4. January beans starting the day, 1464, down 5 1/2. March beans down 5 3/4, 1469 3/4. May beans, 1477 1/2. Down 5 1/4. December Chicago wheat, 767 1/2, down 4. March wheat down 4 3/4, 790 3/4. May wheat, 801 1/2, down 4 1/2. January bean meal, 424.10. That's up a 630. And January bean oil on this Thursday, 68.55, down 333. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network.
Are you a friend of agriculture? This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. We're giving a $500 Friends of Ag discount to anyone that orders a new Chevrolet or Buick to be built just for you this month. Are you a friend of ag? You are if you're a member of any ag organization, employed by any ag-related business, including research, inputs, manufacturing, sales, and marketing, and of course, ag education. Come in, order yours today. BaumChevyBuick.com. Right from the start.
Here's owner Dave Jackson from your Clinton Save-A-Lot on how inflation is affecting all of us.
The funny thing is when this started, the double speak and the sidestep that not only the government went about, but the media, they like to call it transitory. Oh, it's just transitory. It's transitory. Every channel you turn to, transitory. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in the middle of this. This is not transitory. This is escalating, accelerating at a rate that I've never seen.
Despite that, Dave still provides you selection and savings at your Clinton Save-A-Lot.
Hope to see you soon.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show is streaming to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Jack Myers with Social Security is my guest on the phone for this morning. Jack, we live in rural America, and Social Security obviously supports rural America and serves rural America. Let's highlight some of these things real fast today.
Yeah, Seth, we've talked about this before, how Social Security touches the lives of nearly every American. Millions of people count on us, including retirees who've worked hard their whole lives and are ready to start collecting their retirement benefits from Social Security, or people who are no longer able to work due to disability, dependents, survivors. So we've got a lot of different programs, not to mention the fact that people have to contact us for Social Security cards and name changes and things like that. But as you mentioned, the rural connection, we're a member at Social Security of something in the federal government called the Rural Partners Network program. And basically the whole gist of that is, we just want to continue reaching out to rural communities to make sure that people who live in rural communities have access to federal benefits, especially Social Security. And one of the things that I want to just throw out there is a thank you to you and to the station, because I'm grateful for the opportunity that you guys offer on a monthly basis for me to come on and share information about our programs that go out to rural communities. So just want to say thanks and kind of highlight how that fits into this whole initiative to make sure people have access. And, one of the things when it comes to access that we have to think about and touch on is the fact that strides have been made to increase reliable internet access in rural communities. And so access to online services has expanded. And so if you didn't really look at our website, ssa.gov, before, now might be a time to go there and check it out and understand. You can apply for retirement or spouse's benefits. You can apply for disability. You can even, in some cases, apply for the Supplemental Security Income Program. You can apply for Medicare. You can apply for financial assistance called Extra Help with the Medicare Prescription Drug Program. That's Medicare Part D. So there's a lot of stuff you can do on the website. If you're not yet ready to apply for benefits, you can go in and set up a My Social Security account for yourself, ssa.gov/myaccount. That's something we recommend for workers who are 18 and older. So, take a look at all those things. There's a lot of stuff you can do with the account. You can request a replacement Social Security card, verify earnings, get estimates of future benefits. The nice thing about the replacement card, Seth, is if you're in a rural community, you're not necessarily right next door to a Social Security office. So being able to do it online prevents you from having to drive into an office. So that can be helpful. But, just a reminder, we get that not everybody in rural communities or even urban communities is able to do the things online. So if that's not an option for you, then visit an office Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., no appointment required, or give us a call. We've got toll-free national numbers, 800-772-1213. We've got offices in Bloomington and Springfield. So Bloomington, you could reach at 877-405-4640. Springfield, you could reach at 877-279-9504. We actually have Decatur as well. I don't have their number right off the top of my head, but point is there are offices around you that you can reach out to and conduct business with us here at Social Security.
Very good. Yeah, very easy to access Social Security anymore, Jack. And again, just anything else you want to point out as it relates to access to Social Security in rural America?
Well, just again, don't forget about that website, ssa.gov. Check that out first. Give us a call. There are ways you can avoid having to drive into an office. So try and take advantage of those first. I know with gas prices the way they are, anything you can do to save a few bucks would probably be welcome in this day and age.
Very good. Jack, let's talk this morning about 50 years of Social Security and highlighting things like the SSI program and others. How about that?
Yeah, it's actually 50 years since President Nixon signed the Supplemental Security Income Program into law on October 30th of 1972. So that's kind of a big milestone. About 50 years ago, the SSI program became law. And then about 2 years later, in January 1974, we began paying SSI benefits to people who meet eligibility requirements. And we talk a little bit about that from time to time, but just let's highlight for a moment what this is. The SSI is a needs-based program that helps people who have limited income and resources meet basic needs for food, clothing, and shelter. So benefits under the SSI program are payable to disabled or blind children whose families meet income and resource limits, disabled or blind adults under the age of 65 who meet income and resource limits, or adults age 65 or older who meet income and resource limits. So the difference there, the reason why I broke that down is because for an adult 65 or older, there's no disability requirement. So that's why I broke that down to a separate category. Basically, if a disabled child's parents have income that makes the child ineligible, because that'll happen from time to time. You may have a disabled child, but if mom and dad both work, their income might be too high for that child to qualify for SSI. If that is your situation, something that you should know about is that once your child turns 18 and is legally considered an adult, your parental income no longer counts against their eligibility. Even if they're still living in your household, they still might qualify for SSI at the age of 18. So you could take a look at that point. You can get info on the website, ssa.gov. You can give us a call if you want to apply. The maximum federal benefit for SSI in 2022 is $841 per month. But with that COLA that we talked about in the first segment, that's going up to $914 per month in 2023. So it's not, nobody's getting rich off of SSI, but it is something that's there to help meet those basic needs if you qualify for the program and need it. So keep that in mind and get in touch with us if it's something that you would like to apply for.
Easy enough. Jack, let's wrap it up today talking about attorney fee cap increases. What's this about?
Yeah, so basically that's something that just went into effect yesterday. And the background behind that, Seth, is that when a person is applying for Social Security disability benefits, whether it's Social Security or SSI, I guess I should say, they can choose if they want. It's not mandatory, but they can choose if they want to hire an attorney or a non-attorney representative to help them with their application. Most representatives will choose to enter into what's called a fee agreement with applicants. So when you contact a representative and you want them to help you with a disability claim, they will typically have you sign what's called a fee agreement. And effective yesterday, the maximum dollar amount limit for fee agreements approved under the Social Security Act increased from $6,000 to $7,200. So the way that it works is that the fee agreement will typically pay your representative 25% of your back pay up to the limit of formerly $6,000, now $7,200, but that's paid if and only if your application is approved. Now, this increase from $6,000 to $7,200 is the first such increase in 13 years. So it doesn't increase often, but it is something to know. And if you have a current fee agreement in place with an attorney, you might want to take a look at it, because depending on how it's worded, it may say $6,000, or it may say, up to the allowable limit set by Social Security or something like that. So take a look at that, contact your attorney, and just kind of figure out where you're at if you have any questions. But we also have a publication on our website called Your Right to Representation, which you can get at ssa.gov, or give us a call, 800-772-1213. And we'll be happy to send a copy out to you.
Jack, it's always good to talk to you, sir. Next time we catch up, it will be 2023. So happy holidays to you and yours, and we'll talk to you on the other side of the new year.
All right. Same to you, Seth. Thanks a lot.
That is Jack Myers, Social Security, my guest on the phone here for this morning. Jack always brings great stuff with him each time we catch up, and did so once again this month. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Network news on the way on the morning show.